going to go back to the old format for a little bit until Brian's snarky enough that we have to kick him off the show again. We'll see how this goes. But anyways, it's Friday, April 15th. It's Good Friday for those who
Happy Good Friday.
For those who celebrate. I don't think Easter is like in Good Friday. It's just not a happy holiday, right? It's all about death and doom and gloom, I think.
I don't know. I think people still say Happy Good Friday.
Happy Good Friday. Or have a good Friday. It's a good Friday.
I don't know.
When I used to have a job, I used to think it was the best Friday, day off. It's a great Friday. The best is Killer Monday, and all the Easter eggs and stuff go on sale. All the candy. Go and line up at Target.
They're already on clearance here. It's like they just put them on sale early.
Nice. Let's see. Well, no one's saying they can't hear you guys, so that's a good sign. Of course, we've got Major League Baseball. We've got NBA playoffs as well going on. So a lot happening in the in today's action. I had a terrible day in baseball yesterday. I know Brian had a good day, but I had a terrible day yesterday. I don't know. It was like not only did I lose games, I was never even in them. It was like games that I was never even in them. It wasn't like they blew the leads or whatever. It was just smoked, and re-smoked. Happens, 162 game schedule, 2,600 games. Gonna happen in baseball. Gonna have days where you just get absolutely smoked. And I think some of the plays that I liked and didn't give out as premium picks were actually some of the better picks that I had. So I think you guys picked them up for free. So congratulations to all of you. I cashed in on a bunch of them, but I just didn't give them out as premiums. Like the Rangers on the reverse run, makes up for a lot at plus 267. And the Reds,
Absolutely.
and the Reds, that eighth inning. Oh my God! I mean, it's 3-3. They're right there. They're losing 3-0. They come all the way back, and I don't know. That's the Reds. That's Bell as a manager. Just like
Give up six.
I saw it, Joe. Joe's like,
It's just crazy.
I know. I wasn't.
But he doesn't have the horses in the bullpen. It's tough for Bell to be a better manager.
Yeah, but you need to manage those guys. San Martin was off the chain. We know that this. I mean, he looked every bit as like a superstar. Those 3 runs were not his. Sessa started the game. He gave up the 3 runs. San Martin, I think he gave up 2 hits over 6 innings. Yeah, we weren't. We all saw it, Joe. That's for sure. But yeah, I guess our audio is working. Boy, that took us only 3 weeks to figure that out. But we did get it working. Oh man. But we got NBA action as well. 2 NBA games tonight. Play in. Winner goes on to play the number 1 seed. So the winner in the West, the Clippers and the Pelicans, will play the Phoenix Suns. And the winner of the Hawks Cavaliers matchup will play the Miami Heat. My guess is that the winner of that Hawks Cavaliers will be given a lot better chance of beating the Miami Heat than they actually deserve. That's the way this will work. And the winner of the Clippers Pelicans will be given a lot less chance of beating the Phoenix Suns than they probably deserve. Just the way that it generally shakes out. But yeah. But
Excited.
it's kind of like, it's weird, right, with the 3 of us, because I feel like we have like these long pauses. Like, normally the other person.
Oh, no, it's just that I don't want to be a smart ass and like say anything stupid, so I'm trying to keep my comments to under control. So I'm just sitting there. I'll jump in if I see something.
Well, we haven't really given any opinions on anything. We're kind of
I'm trying to keep myself controlled.
Okay, well, saying nothing, is
well, okay, then I am gonna say something.
That'd be great. Anyways, or else why have a show, right? We'll just sit here and say nothing. Well, we've got the Cavs and the Hawks. The Cavs home dog in this one really ended the season struggling. 3-7 in the last 10, just 4-6 against the number. The world on the Hawks in this thing, 8-2 in their last 10, 8-2 against the number. We know the Hawks certainly did some damage last year in the playoffs, beating up on the Knicks, barely losing really. Gave the Bucks all they could handle. The Bucks won it all. Brian, what are you looking at here?
Well, it was I've been awful in the play-in game so far, but I'm hoping to turn the corner tonight. As far as free picks go, I like the Cleveland Cavaliers plus the 2.5. The Hawks have all the momentum in this game going into it, but the Cavaliers, I think they pick up the defensive intensity tonight. I think it's a one-possession game. Cavs have been a blue-collar team all year long. I think they have a chance to pull out the win, but I'll take the points here.
I'd rather have Brian walking on eggshells than have him just blindly giving out the Pirates and the Orioles, talking about how strong the pick looks. Anyways, Joe, how about you?
I'm going to take the Hawks in the first half there. I just think we're going to look at a Cavs team that we know that they come in rusty off rest, and they've been rested coming into this game. They haven't covered the spread in their last 4 games, playing on 2 days rest. So I'm looking at them to come in, get a slow start here, the Hawks to get up in that first half.
Yeah, the Hawks have been dominant in the first quarter and the first half. I gave it out just a couple minutes ago on 7 free picks. Took me about 5 minutes.
Nice.
I like the Hawks first quarter, but I'm kind of with Brian on the game. I think that the Cavs might be the play here. Just a lot of people on the Hawks. The Cavs, I think you have 2 different things here. The Hawks have the playoff experience, and the Cavs, they don't realize they're supposed to lose, and they have, while Trae Young gets a lot of the accolades, which he deserves, I think the Cavs have some good young players too. I think Garland is he can take over a game as well. So I don't know. I don't have a premium or anything on that game. I kind of think that that's the tougher of the 2 in my book, and because I could see a scenario. I could see why all the action is on the Hawks here. I mean, it makes sense, and I see it. I get it, but at the same time, it's like every play-in game has kind of gone to form. The favorite has, one favorite hasn't covered in all of the play-in games. Only one favorite hasn't covered, and that was the Nets at home. Go figure, against the Cavs. But all the favorites have won. So I think this is the one. This is the most likely spot where you see the outright upset.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are looking at their last game. We saw the last game between the Hawks and the Cavs, with the Hawks blowing them out 131 to 107. So, but Jarrett Allen wasn't in that game. And I know that he was listed as questionable earlier today. Mitch, is there anything on our injury reports that says that he will be playing? Because he's going to be a huge issue for the Hawks tonight if he's out there.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I was meaning to check our injury reports for a better update on him.
Questionable. That means he's playing.
Okay.
Questionable means...
so he's going to cause issues.
Questionable means playing. But I think the Cavs, win or lose, certainly have a lot to look forward to next season when they get Sexton back. And, certainly an organization that's been drafting in the lottery for every year that LeBron James hasn't been on the team. This team certainly looks like they at least have a solid foundation and are moving forward. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to keep it up, or if they're just this year's version of the Knicks, where they cranked up the defense and got it rolling and made the playoffs, and then the next year the wheels fall off the cart because the offense isn't really there for the Cavs, and that's the issue. But the defense for the Hawks, it's certainly they give up 131 here. I don't think anyone's shocked either. So,
and the Hawks haven't been a good road cover team this year.
No,
like 14-27. No, home court means something in the NBA.
Especially in the playoffs. We saw it in New Orleans, and we saw it in Minnesota, especially where they had the 10-point. They were down by 10. Towns fouled out, and they were able to rally in that game. Yeah, this should be a good game. Garland had 18 in that last meeting. I think they're going to need, I think when you look at the Hawks, the Cavs lineup, certainly they have what it takes here to get it done. Anyways, we'll move on to the Clippers and the Pelicans. Boy, the Pelicans, were they that impressive in that game? Was McCollum that impressive, or were they just playing the Spurs? I think that's what this comes down to. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, very good point there, Mitch.
Yeah, I think in this game, I'm going to lead to Old Faithful here in a playoff situation. I'm going to take the under 216, 215 and a half here. I think if either team wants to move on, they're going to have to turn up the defense. And the Clippers at home, both these teams are really quite similar. They've lost key players, but they've battled through to at least have the chance to make the playoffs. And I think defense is the way to go. First team to 105 wins this game. So I'm going to take the under 216 and a half.
Joe?
Yeah, I hate this line right now at 4. I was hoping it would move down to 3.5 because I do like the Clippers at 3.5. At 4, I don't know if I can get on the Pelicans. I think the Clippers defense is just going to absolutely control this game and make it really tough on New Orleans in this one. So I guess I'll take the 4 with the Clippers. I think they get it done. I really do. I think they have a good game here. But I hear Brian on his under here because I do think that is a solid play with. I think the Clippers completely control this. In their last 3 games, they've held teams to 98.3 points per game. So they've been coming out so strong defensively.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under as well. I just think that what we've seen in these playoffs in general, the play-in, not really the playoffs, the play-in, is the refs are letting these guys play. So not a lot of foul calls, not a lot of there's no ticky-tack stuff going on here. So I'm gonna take the under as well. I also like the Clippers first half, first quarter. They've been straight money. We've been on the Clippers first quarter, I think, in my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, I think, all season. And I think we've hit all of them. So it's like I'm gonna take it first quarter again. Clippers, I think we'll probably have to pay up like minus 130 or something, but well worth the price of admission. Gonna take the under. Brian, what are you selling today?
I got my Friday Pound Zone 3-pack. I got 5 total plays today, but just 3 in that package there for $50 at PickDawgz.com. Premium picks off 4-0 baseball day. Just one day doesn't mean anything. Going to try to keep it rolling tonight. I love the board in baseball today, so make sure you guys go check that out.
How about you, Joe?
I've got 2 in the NBA, and I also have 2 in the MLB. So go check it out over there. I couldn't get there with a hockey one, but I'll be giving out those free plays on Puck and Crazy.
All right.
What about you, Mitch?
I got a bunch of picks. But I have for individual sale, I have 3-pack. I think I have a $15 one play for $15. I put out for baseball. That play's not in my 3-pack. I have a 3-pack. I have other plays for people that have long-term plans, and then I have 1 pick in the NBA. So I always put out, especially in baseball season, a lot of picks for people that have the long-term packages. It's kind of, I do my 3-packs the night before, and then in the morning when I wake up and can see things clearly, if I see anything that I really want to add, I usually will add it without making a package for it. So that's the difference between my long-term plans and buying the packages or individual picks. I do have that 1 pick for $15 for those that are interested in just dipping your toe in the water. Of course, guaranteed.
Awesome.
Now, as we move to Major League Baseball, we've got a bunch of teams that still haven't played their home openers yet. So a lot of these teams opening today. And I think it's been pretty interesting in baseball. No one looks unbeatable, that's for sure. And no one looks absolutely hideous. We don't have any teams that are starting the season 0-10, or no one's going to start like that. Even the Orioles have a win. So, and no teams are kind of running away with it either. I think most of the teams have losing records at this point.
Yeah, that is a good point to look at, Mitch.
I also think we see some surprise teams in baseball so far. I'm not a Chicago Cubs fan, but I don't think many people expected the Cubs to have a winning record at this point. And the Pittsburgh Pirates have a couple wins. Definitely a little surprising.
I think the Cubs are a little less surprising that they have a winning record. Yesterday was their first road game of the season. So it's like if you have a winning home record, which I don't think is a reach for any team, then you start, 5 games in.
But the Brewers are for real this year. I know they didn't start out great, but beating the Brewers is no easy task with the pitchers that they got. So it's just the Cubs surprised me a little bit.
Brewers are traditionally late starters too. Kind of a hang around team. Kind of hang around. You don't realize that they're there. Kind of like the Rays. They just hang around, and then and then at the end of the season, they're there. The Brewers have made the playoffs the most of any of the National League Central Division teams over the last 15, 20 years. And it's not even close. They make it the most. Not the team not the team most people would pick that have made it the most. But we've got the Mets against the Diamondbacks. Home opener at Citi Field. Chris Bassett getting the call for the home opener for the Mets. We've got Nick Pivetta getting the call for the home opener for the Boston Red Sox against Joe Ryan and the Twins. I think we might have a live dog there. And then we've got the Pirates up against the Nationals. Joe, any of these three?
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple totals in these ones. Arizona and the New York Mets. I think I'm going to go under the total here. We've seen the under trend nice and strong. And we're looking at Chris Bassett for the New York Mets coming out here. Now, he has a career ERA of 3.43. This is the first game of the 3-game series, and I think both of these play it tight. We look at Zach Davies. He's sitting at a 3.2 ERA, and he had 2 strikeouts on the season so far. He had a really solid game in the last game he came out for. So I think this is one where the Diamondbacks probably struggle. I'd probably lean on the Mets. That money line is too high. I don't want to play the run line here, so I'm just going to go the under 8.5 in this one. And then I think we have an over between the Twins and the Red Sox. Twins probably will have a good day with Joe Ryan here. Maybe I just like his name because it's Joe, but Twins have normally struggled against the Red Sox, but I see them coming in here and playing a solid game in this one. So give me the over. I think the over has trended nicely. 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two as well.
Brian?
I hate to disagree with Joe on a total, but I think the Twins Red Sox goes under the total. Nick Pivetta isn't very good, but I think Joe Ryan's going to have a sparkling performance tonight. I just don't see him getting over that 10 total. And I will take the Washington Nationals over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates got a convincing win yesterday, but I trust Eric Fedde more than I do Keller for the Pirates. So I'll go Nationals on the money line.
I think the concern for me in that Red Sox Twins game and why I wouldn't give a total is because I think that Joe Ryan certainly has what it takes to shut down this Red Sox lineup. I know that Pivetta doesn't, but you got a 18-mile-per-hour wind blowing out to that short right porch in Fenway Park for a day game. It's going to be 70 degrees for this one in Boston. This thing sets up for 14-12. The way that I've been to those games at Fenway Park. I lived in Boston for quite some time, and I went to a lot of Red Sox games. So we have like some audio issue here. Did you guys hear it?
Nope.
All right.
I don't hear anything.
All right.
Well, I hear you guys.
It's kind of like I'm not sure what it is, but anyways, I don't know. I can't get there on the total. I see you guys on both sides. The only argument I can make to the under is that Joe Ryan, I think, is going to be large and in charge. But I don't know about that 18-mile-an-hour wind and that Twins bullpen either, blowing out to right, because that right field is just super short at Fenway. It's just way short. That it's the shortest home run in all of baseball. Is the right field pole at Fenway. Oh yeah, it's not even close. The pesky pole. It's not even close. You don't know what the distance is on that? The dimensions? Fenway Park.
That'd be interesting to know.
I think it's 307, but maybe I'm wrong.
It might even be less than that. The pesky pole is... So, Pesky only hits 17 home runs. It's 302. And the number is disputed. So, yeah, definitely like the, I don't know what that noise is. But anyways, I think you have to really worry about, that sort of thing when the wind is blowing, especially when the wind is blowing out. And so I think for me, I would just hit the Twins on the reverse run line. They've been terrible at Fenway Park. I know that, but it's just, this is what I do, right? So reverse run line Twins for me. And I think the over in that Pirates Nationals game is more my speed too. I think Fede is the type of guy that he could throw 5 innings of scoreless baseball, or he could throw 1 out of 5 run baseball. I mean, he's one of those guys. But Keller is, he's batting practice. He's favored in this game, which is just odd of all odd. But I like the over in that one. Once again, the wind blowing out to left at that one, 18 miles an hour. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but we're in the middle of the ocean, but it's super windy here. It's been really, really windy here.
We had a Chinook wind blow in, and it was beautiful weather, but it was just so cold of wind. Well, it was warmish wind, but it was just way too much the other day. Now we have snow again, so yeah, I'll take your warm Hawaii wind, Mitch.
The Chinook wind. I've never. we have the Kona. We have the Konas.
Oh, okay. Kona winds. Yeah, we get Chinook winds, and you get an arch in the sky. It's actually beautiful.
It's the Kona. We have Kona winds and Vog. Things that's yes, volcanic fog.
Oh.
Yeah. Not fun. Not good stuff.
No.
It makes you feel sick.
Is it thick?
It's not. Okay. It can be thick, but it makes you. A lot of people get really sick from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just.
Wow.
It sucks. The Vog.
Not good.
No, it's not good. Anyway, speaking of not good, Zach Eflin's on the mound here against the Marlins. Pablo Lopez on the hill for the Fish. We got the Orioles. Brian's you got a magical combination there. Jordan Lyles and the Baltimore Orioles all coming together in one pile of dung for you against the Yankees. I don't know, minus 208 on the road it's Jordan Montgomery, right? That's not in my vocabulary either. It's
too good to be true.
It's too good to be true. And then you've got the Toronto Blue Jays up against the Oakland A's. Interesting of all. I think one of the more interesting games on the entire card is that one. You have an Oakland team coming off of a really strong performance in Tampa Bay, but they have lost 6 in a row in Toronto. They really do not play well there. But Dalton Jeffries looked exceptional in what we saw from him earlier this season. So I think that's a really interesting matchup. Brian, which of these 3, besides Pablo Lopez, do you like?
Well, I'm going to go super public here and take the over in the Yankees-Orioles game. I think Jordan Lyles is the one guy that I would never back on the Orioles, and Jordan Montgomery, I think he gets hit for some runs here. I'll take the over in that matchup. And then the Blue Jays in Athletics, I'm going to wuss out and take Oakland plus the 1.5. I see Rod Stripling's going for the Blue Jays. I just think that price is a little high for Toronto. I think it's a 1-run game. A's have been fighting hard. I'll take the run line there.
Joe?
For myself, the Blue Jays and the Oakland A's game, I'm looking at taking that first half, and I'm going to take it under in the first half. I think we're going to see Jeffries come out with a point to make. It's only his fourth career start, and we did see him play so well in that last game. A lot of people think he's going to struggle here, but I don't think he will. And Russ Stripling here, he can give up the runs, but I don't see this one going over that 5.5 in that first half. Yeah, we've seen the Blue Jays just completely limited offensively. They need to have a breakout, but I don't know. Needing to have a breakout and actually getting it is another thing.
Well,
it's the only game I'm looking at in there.
Well, when they were at home against the Rangers, the home runs were flying. So maybe home is where it's at for them. But I think the game in Miami is pretty interesting with Lopez up against Eflin. I thought the Phillies' best chance was last night. I'm going to go with the Marlins on the run line there. Maybe alternate it up. I believe Marlins have some ridiculous trend here cooking for them on the run line. Plus 175. It is... I got to find it now. It is... let's see. Pretty sure that sound is on your end, Brian. Yep.
It's probably my stupid computer exhaust.
Yep, you got to move it away from your microphone. Got to keep them separate. There you go.
I don't think my arm's long. My arm's not long enough to push it farther enough away. But
you got to get a longer cord or a towel to put over your computer, or a new computer, or.
It's a 1-year-old MacBook, something or other.
We're not here to do ads. We're just talking. I said you got noise going on there. It's bugging out. It's like the Seinfeld where George has got the pants with the swoosh, the suit where it makes a sound when he walks.
Isn't that because he's wearing corduroy, or was it just a normal suit?
No, he bought the suit, and it was like he had the suit was going on sale. He hid the suit in the store. He went back as like a chef or something, wanted the same suit, and then he bought the suit, and then it made a weird swooshing sound when he walked.
That is hilarious. Man, I need to watch some more Seinfelds. I thought I watched all of them, but there's a lot that you reference now that I can't remember.
Trying to find that Marlins. Oh, here it is. The Phillies have failed to cover the run line against National League teams 6 in a row. So, Marlins run line. And it was White Sox against the Rays. Got the Indians against the Giants. And you've got the Texas Rangers against the Angels. Brian, how about these three?
Strong lean here to Dylan Cease and the Chicago White Sox. I'm a Cease guy. I think he's going to have a really good season, so I'm going to keep riding him here. Tampa Bay, this is the price that normally you'd love to be in at, but I think the White Sox keep up their home winning. And Texas Rangers and Angels, this is the price I'd like to bet the Rangers, but I'm a Reed Detmers guy. I just think the Angels need to start winning games, and I'll lean to the Angels here at minus 115.
Joe?
For myself, I agree with Brian leaning on the White Sox there. I'm also going to lean on the over in that one. I do think what we saw out of these offenses last year is they're just so deep, and 8.5 seems like a low total between these two, especially when their last 4 meetings have flown over the total. I'm going to also go with the San Francisco Giants here. That money line is a little steep, so it might be something that I throw into a parlay. The Giants have just been so dominant against Cleveland, and the Guardians, coming in off a day's rest, have completely struggled. So I might also look at San Francisco in that first 5 if it's one of those, if we're getting better value in the first 5 for them to get the win there.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm on the Guardians. I would even go reverse run line in this one. San Francisco, horrible first game of a road trip or first game back home. This is where it seems like they lose most of their games. And in this type of spot, I've lost 4 in a row against the American League Central and the Indians 5-0 on the run line. So even if you want to go the Bryan route and take the 1.5 there, the Guardians only minus 130 in that respect, getting plus the 1.5 where they're 5-0 in that spot. So just a lot of favorable angles here for the Guardians. The one favorable angle for the Giants is Rodon is going, and he's one of my favorites, but still have to. I think it's one of those spots where it's kind of like my heart says Giants and everything else says Guardians. It's kind of like it's one of those ones where I don't have the warm fuzzy. It's like it's the opposite. It's like you take it and you're kind of like, oh man, this is gonna be a tough day. So I think I'm gonna have to go opposed to you, Joe, on that one, and take the Guardians at home. It's their home opener, right?
Yeah.
Plus, Plesac isn't. He's just as good as Rodon.
No, he isn't.
Plesac's a solid starting pitcher.
But he's not as good
Look at his numbers.
He's not as good as Rodon. Rodon's a Cy Young
good.
candidate, type guy.
I don't know about that. He's very good, but
what don't you know about it? Was it the perfect game he pitched?
I said he's very good.
Which part of it?
I don't know if he's a Cy. I guess he's a Cy Young candidate. The Giants turn guys into Cy Young candidates, and Rodon was already.
He was a Cy Young candidate last year for the White Sox.
He'll be even better this year for the Giants.
Well, he plays. It's a much more pitcher friendly ballpark. Yep. That's for sure. All right. See, Brian and I getting along for how long is this? Oh, I didn't record the show. Damn it. It is. We got along for about 35 minutes there so far. We're even agreeing.
I like to see you guys get along. Gives me the warm fuzzies, especially on a Good Friday.
It happened. It actually happened. Let's see, what were the other games here? So, I like the White Sox against the Rays as well. I was not big on Dylan Cease in the first game, but maybe he's turned the corner. He certainly looked like it in Game 1. He has the stuff. I mean, he is he highly regarded all the way. So I'll take the White Sox in that one. We got the Brewers and the Cardinals, the Royals and the Tigers, which I cheated myself on that game yesterday. I like the Tigers. I even said it on the show. It was like, this one just looks too easy, right? And it was too easy. And then Brian's Cubs against the Rockies. Marcus Stroman, another Brian guy, on the mound as well. Brian, who do you like in this one?
Well, if you guys want to hear my Cubs Rockies, tune into my Take It to the Bank play right after, a little bit later today. The other two games, I like the Milwaukee Brewers laying a ton of juice here. I just think Freddie Peralta is going to bounce back from that horrible start. I think this line's high for a reason. Miles Miklos, if I pronounce his name, goes for the Cardinals. I'm not a Miklos guy. And then the Detroit Tigers plus money on the road. I'm not in love with Tariq Skubal, but I don't see Keller having another great start. So I'll take the Tigers here on the money line.
Joe?
I don't know. I'm almost looking for St. Louis to have a bounce back game. This is a game that I thought they would have done better in yesterday. They lost at 5-1 to the Brewers here. I think this is going to be a tight one. So give me St. Louis. I think they're worth a chance grabbing here. And then I like the under in the first 5 between the Cubs and the Rockies. I think with both these pitchers out, they're both strong, and we're going to see a lower scoring one, especially in this first 5. The under has been great in Colorado, hitting in 4 of the last 5 games in Colorado. So give me the under. First 5, not the full game. What about you, Mitch?
I like the Tigers' Tariq Skubal. I think if he doesn't throw the ball down the middle of the plate, he's generally pretty good. And I think that's where he gets into trouble, is he gives up the home run. So it's like, if he doesn't give it, we'll know right away. If he gives up the home run, they're gonna lose. If he doesn't, they're probably gonna win. I think I don't know what Brian's Take It to the Bank is, but I definitely will watch it, and I'm sure I can pick what it is without him saying it. But I think the Rockies bounce back. They've been pretty solid this season. Traditionally, a really strong home team, and while the Cubs have gotten off to a nice start, they are hideous against the West traditionally. I mean, It's not like, 1 year they were bad against the West, or like when they won the championship, they were really good against the West. They've always been horrible, horrible, horrible against the West. So it only makes sense that they're horrible against the West here with Marquez going, who looked really strong in his first outing of the year, beating the Dodgers, a much better team than he faces here. As far as that Brewers-Cardinals game goes, it was the Brewers beating the Cards yesterday was one of those games where it was like, it was an upset. I thought it was an upset, even though the Brewers were favored, but I wasn't surprised. It was kind of like, I had the Cardinals in that game. I didn't have a good feeling about it. It was one of those games, kind of like the Giants today. It's kind of like, I don't have the Giants, but it's like, if I did, I would not have a good feeling about it. It just doesn't seem right. Like, it doesn't seem to be a great spot for them. At least yesterday didn't. And because the Brewers know these are the circle games, for the Brewers. The Central is going to come down. I don't care what the Cubs are doing today. They don't have a team that can hold up over 162 game schedule. This division is going to be decided between these two teams. And they know, as Pete Rose always said, it's the games in April that make those games in September and October all that much more important. And I think the Brewers put the hammer down here. Peralta might be the best number 3 starter in all of baseball. I think he shuts him down again. The Cardinals when the Cardinals bats go dead. This is one thing about this team. When their bats go dead, they're dead. And that's what they looked like yesterday. They had no answers whatsoever. They had so many chances. I mean,
that is true.
Couldn't get it done. Against Woodruff, who had, teams had batted around against him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sad from yesterday.
It was a hard day yesterday.
It was a hard day. I haven't had one of those in a while. I haven't taken a beating like that. I haven't taken a beating like that since, I don't know, since the Wisconsin game against who did they play? Colgate, Wisconsin, final seconds, and Duke against Cal State Fullerton. Those two games on the same day within 2 hours of one another. We got the Braves and the Padres. The Padres made quick work of the Braves yesterday. Charlie Morton, the Braves are just slow starters. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. We got Seattle taking on Houston. Seattle gets back home. Is this their home opener?
Is it Seattle's home opener?
I think that was yesterday, wasn't it?
No, they played at Chicago yesterday. Yeah, this is Seattle's home opener. It's weird that it's a night game. So it's Cleveland, Seattle, Boston, Mets. All there's home openers today. It's weird though that you have a home opener as a night game, which both the Guardians and the Mariners do. Usually home openers are day games.
Oh, really?
Usually.
I didn't realize that. Chances of all the home teams winning or home opening teams winning tonight?
Doubtful.
Yeah, doubtful.
Chances of all the home teams winning.
Let's hear it, Magic 8 Ball. We haven't pulled this out forever. Brian's back. The 8 Ball's back.
Yeah, Lucky Penny shows up.
Whoa.
I might be going.
It is definitely so.
Okay, I'm going to parlay up that. I'm going to throw some money
I got to tell
it.
you, if Brian's crap day is Friday, we know that. So he said the opposite. It is the day to go against Brian is Fridays.
Yeah.
It's
Plus
usually
yesterday.
Fridays is always bet Rod, fade Brian.
Oh,
The rest of the week, it's every man for themselves.
Rod did spectacular yesterday.
But Rod is really? Oh, so maybe it's not Rod Friday then. But Rod is generally Rod on Fridays. Normally that's his day.
I have a good feeling about today, but I say that every day. So.
I always have a good feeling. And as soon as that first game, if the first game of the day goes the wrong way, I
always have a good feeling. Then I wake up.
Good feeling, then you wake up. I like it.
Anyways, any of these three? Last three on the board, Joe?
And I think these are a tough three here, especially with Seattle getting their opening game. I still think I got to go with Houston here. We've seen Houston play them so tight. I don't know. I want to see Seattle come out and get a strong game, but I think Houston just pulls it off. Maybe what I'll look at is taking Houston in the first 5. I think we're going to see a stronger performance out of them to start the game. I could see Seattle maybe finishing it up. And then looking at the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres, I know we saw just a complete blowout yesterday. The Padres getting a 12-1 win in the opener of this 4-game series. I don't know. I think I got to trust in the Braves to have a bounce back game. And I don't see it being such a high scoring one. I think we have a lower one. These teams normally trend to that under when playing in San Diego, going 5-2 in their last 7 to that under. I just can't see this being a 13-run game like we saw yesterday. I think it stays under this total of 8.5. I think it's gone too high. It's the only thing I got in here, Mitch.
Brian?
I think the Braves bounce back today. I'm going to take Kyle Wright and Atlanta Braves. Mackenzie Gore, who pitches for the Padres, has spectacular numbers in the minor leagues, and I think he'll have a good performance, but I think the Braves have enough to get the W. I'm going to go a little public here, take the Houston Astros. I don't trust Marco Gonzalez for the Seattle, and I think the Astros are just the better team. They get the W there. And then I'm going to try to fade the Dodgers as much as I can on the run line. Fly Gutierrez isn't my guy, but I think he's just as good as who the Dodgers have tonight. So I'll take the +1.5 in the Reds.
Well, yesterday the Reds did add a lot of excitement for us. Went down 3-0 and then came all the way back, got it to 3-3. And I got to say, I really felt that they had the momentum there. And really, it was, I don't know. Can't stand the Dodgers. I'm taking the Reds. I'm reverse run lining it again. I don't care. All you have to do is, if you bet the Reds money line, like just straight up money line, all you got to do is win 1 in the series. If you can hit a reverse money line, your reverse run line, you're huge. I'm taking the Reds. I'm going reverse run line here. Gonzalez is a joke. I'm gonna say it again. If you didn't hear me the first time, I'll repeat. I'll repeat myself. He's a joke at that price. That's like Zach Eflin at -220, like we saw earlier this season. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like when Andrew Kashner got traded to the Red Sox and was -185.
But Gutierrez isn't a prize, so I think they're equal pitching-wise tonight.
Yeah, but if they're equal pitching-wise, then you're getting 2-1 on your money is just value. It's off the chart value. Getting 2-1 on your money on even. Because the Reds lineup's not bad either. If they had Castellanos, they'd be a little better, but they don't.
And Winkler.
Yeah, I'm not as big on Winkler as you are. Not as big. All right. Let's see what we can get the red legs here on the reverse. On the reverse. -1.5 +310. I think that's solid.
Nice money.
It's good money if you win.
I got my fingers crossed for it, Mitch.
All right. Just make sure you uncross them at some point. Could get in the way of, I don't know, using scissors, things like that.
Well, across this hand. I use my right for everything. Cross my left.
Yep, heavy streaks in favor of the Dodgers. Heavy streaks. Heavy streaks. All right. Is there NHL today? Joe?
Yeah, we've
Puck
only
and
got 2 games for Puck and Crazy today.
Gonna be
in the NHL. We got the Islanders.
gonna be a puck and
Pardon?
slow show.
It's gonna be puck and quick show. We're just gonna go over the Islanders, Montreal Canadiens, and the Winnipeg Jets, who are dead to me, and the Florida Panthers. So
Dallas
quick and
Stars
fast.
yesterday. Dallas losing in overtime. That crushed me. So
I am
upset.
sorry to hear that. Sorry it
Bastards.
crushed you. They needed that win so bad too. Yeah. Fleury was just way too strong.
The Predators were flat yesterday too.
Yeah.
And the Flames. The Flames.
I know.
I thought of you yesterday when I looked at the score and it was 5-1. I was like, oh, at least she's out having a good time.
Right. So my absolutely play hit early in the first period because it was over 1.5 in the first period. And so it was tied up going into the second period, and Calgary just fell apart. Completely fell apart. It's like, we're done. Not playing anymore. And it's so fun. So when you're at the Calgary Flames game, when they score, the fire goes off like from the scoreboard and everything. So you get like this nice heat wave and warms you up, and we only got it once.
So one of my college roommates is on the chat in the chat, Brian Hasey. So one of our really good friends was like a superstar college hockey player, and he would bring home all these hockey sticks, and he would take balls, like he would take socks and tape them up with duct tape and make balls out of them, and we would play hockey inside the house in Boston. I can only imagine like what the neighbors like now that I'm older, you know. It's like I think about it, it's like what were the neighbors? It's like they had like this giant dining room, and it's like, we got like a 4-on-4 going with the soccer ball, like real hockey sticks, you know, not like those plastic ones or anything, like real hockey sticks. You tape it up.
Probably losing their minds with you guys.
I never even met the people. I don't think we ever saw them. It's so funny. Man.
Is.
But Brian used to have the picture of him with Bobby Nystrom. Was his favorite thing. He loved those Islanders teams. Oh, they came up several times. Brian is saying there was girls that lived below us, and they came up several times. I think.
Oh, that's funny.
But ironically, at that same place, I think we had a party 3 times a week, every single week that we lived. I mean, it was like there was always 100 people there. It was like. It's one of those places, right? It's like it was the best. Those were the days, right? Oh man,
good old days.
Anyways, Brian, you got a parlay for everybody?
Yeah, and I love this parlay, but I do at least. I'm gonna take the Brewers money line, Tigers money line, and the Braves on the money line.
Okay, I'm gonna take the LA Angels, the San Francisco Giants, and the Minnesota Twins.
It's like someone comes over to look at the house. It's like, what's that noise? Oh, they're playing 4-on-4 hockey upstairs in the dining room. It's like, what's that noise? Someone must have got checked into the wall. It wasn't like light contact either.
I can imagine how noisy it would be in a house because, like, my kids have played like ball hockey outside with real hockey sticks, like on the street, and it's so loud outside.
This is like, it's Boston, so it's like one of those old brick apartment buildings, and it's like really had like, the ornate, woodworking and stuff. So it was like a big formal dining room we would play in, and we had on the wall duct tape goals, like what the
Oh man, that's awesome.
It was hardwood floors, like those old oak hardwood floors. It was like, oh my God. Anyways. Oh, that's funny. I'm taking the over in the Red Sox Twinkies. I'm going to parlay that up with the over in the Nationals Pirates game and the over in the Orioles Yankees game. That's my Bitler 3-team over parlay, celebrating Brian's return to the show. We know Brian loves favorites and overs. So
I hate overs.
All right. Well, I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Thanks everyone for joining us. It was fun being 3 in the booth. We'll get the flow back together next week. Of course, tomorrow, normal style. I don't know who is going to be on tomorrow, but Joe keeps smiling and smiling for no reason because she's a happy, pleasant person.
And also, I look like I have RB if I don't.
So. Also, she's been drinking since 6:30 a.m. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great day. We'll see you later. VIP and premium to follow.